And welcome to Naughty Notes. Well, this activity, we're going to do a lot of measuring with our protractor, and we just want to get a hang of these theorems. Now, uh, I don't have a great way for you to measure arcs. I don't want to have to draw central angles all over. So we're going in multiples of 10. All these little tick marks are 10 degrees of, well, of angle arc. So count these up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or count by tens. 10, 20, 30, 40. You get the idea. I'm also going to speak in color. I'll call this one the red for purpose of instruction because it matches your paper. So we're not going to waste time with letters and getting confused. I'll just say the big one here, the red one. Well, I'm going to count out 220. I've counted 22 of those intervals. I want you to do the same. And then I want you to take your compass like this. Sorry, protractor. And I want you to line it up like that and check that out and see what you got. You know how to read it. That's 90. That's 100. This is 110. So go ahead and mark that. 110. Now, well, I guess while it's here, let's do this. Count all these little arcs, or these little tick marks here. And they are, again, the 10-degree increments. And you'll see here on the blue arc, you have 14 of them for 140. And again, if I were to put this protractor on here, I can see this is my 60. I'm on the top scale now, 70. Hey, let me see what's going on here. Well, what's going on here is you've got the two arcs. Well, they make a whole circle. So they're going to have to add up to 360. 220, 140 adds up to 360. Well, how about this one? 110 and 70? Well, that's going to add up to 180 because these two are a linear pair. And that's really all you have to understand to figure out a tangent chord angle. We could say it this way. The measure of this angle, I guess I'll call this one 1, is going to be half the measure of the arc. And the measure of this angle is going to be half the measure of this tangent chord arc. Okay, you got that down? All right, oh, don't worry, we'll be doing a lot of this. We're just playing with right now. We're just getting the concepts down without any letters to get in the way. So let's measure this guy. And we see something interesting here. Well, let's count these up. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. I'm counting 9, or I am counting 90 of them. So, and over here on the blue, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Now, I've got two different angles. I've got the red and the blue, different numbers. And yet I know these guys have to have the same measure because they're vertical angles. So go ahead and measure those. Put your protractor on there, and I guess you can hold it this way. You can hold it this way. There's a lot of different ways you could measure it. And no matter how we do this, whether it's like this, or I put it like this and I'm measuring this angle, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. Well, what's going on here is that we're going to follow this rule. I'm going to take the 50, add it to the 90, divide by 2. Remember, these two angles have to be the same, and so these two angles are the same, but they're intercepting different arcs, so they're going to share the degrees. Just think about it that way. So I've got, I like to say, red plus blue, divide by 2. So this is a chord angle. All right, we just got 3 more on this fun sheet. And again, I want you to measure. Let's get some practice in here. Now, these are a pair of secant segments. And so we'll call this secant angle. And we're going to count 10, 20, 30, 40. And I'm going to count 100 there. 10, 20, 30, 40. In the blue, I'm going to count 40 degrees. Now we can we can kind of jump ahead and see what we're going to get by doing this. Put the protractor on there. And again, I made everything in multiples of 10 degrees, make it easier. 10, 20, 30. This looks like a 30-degree angle, whether I measure it like this or whether I measure it like this. And then, of course, I'm on the other scale. Get that out of the way. Something different is going on here. Now, the angle is on the outside. So, all you got to know is this. Make a little rhyme out of that. Red minus blue divided by 2. 100 minus 40. Well, that's 60. Half of 60 is 30. Works every time. Let's look at this one. Now, similar angles on the outside. And again, I've got two intercepted arcs, one that's near and one that's far. So I count the red ones, 10, 20, 30, 40. I'm going to count all those, and I'm going to count 14 divisions or 140 degrees. And on the blue, 100. And let's pull on our protractor as best as we can and measure this puppy. And we're going to say, 10, 20. And that's what we got. We've got 20 degrees. Does that make sense? Red minus blue divided by 2. And there it goes again. Red minus blue. Well, 140 minus 100 is 40. Half of 40 is 20. It works out. And let's just do the last case. And well, a little off here. And scoot this over there. Sorry about that. And this one's a little different. This is tangent, tangent. It's still going to be red minus blue divided by 2. But watch this. Count this carefully. Start here. You got to go all the way around. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 80, 90. Oh, it's getting exhausting. But I'm going to count 220. Now, I count the minor arc, which I'm calling blue, and I'm going to get 140. Now, I can still say red minus blue divide by 2. And let's do this measure. Go ahead and measure this. And verify. 10, 20, 30. I got 40 degrees right there. Did you get that? I hope so. Practice those measuring skills. And does it work? Well, of course it does, because I've got 220 minus 140. And when I subtract that, I'm going to get 80. Half of 80 is 40. But here's something else. When it's two tangents, and we'll go through this, show you why in class, you're going to, make you solve it. These two, look at that, they add up to 180. Not a coincidence. That's going to happen every single time. So everyone, I hope you have fun with this little worksheet, and thank you for watching Nodding.